Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take the sources you're curious about, dive deep, and pull out the key insights for you. Think of it as your shortcut to getting the core of the story.
And today, we've got some really intriguing excerpts. It looks like we're exploring a narrative about two, well, quite legendary figures in their own rights.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Bartholomew Bear, this iconic Major League pitcher, and then there's Danny Tortuga, a name synonymous with master thievery.
Talk about different worlds colliding.
Right. So our mission today is to kind of unpack the connection between them. How do these two seemingly totally separate lives intersect and, affect each other?
It's a great premise. A star athlete and this notorious, never-caught thief. How do their paths even cross? Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with Bear. The source material really lays out his legendary status, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. 20 years in the league, instantly recognizable. And the descriptions, they're so evocative, that lumbering gait, the huge hands, the beard. You really get a sense of him.
He sounds like his nickname, right? But what really stood out to me was that physical presence combined with his, unbelievable stamina.
Yes. The text mentions pitching complete games, never seeming to tire, even in extreme heat. He's not just big, he's relentless, a real force.
The force of nature, almost.
Yeah.
And then you have this setup, a mid-May night game. It's his bobblehead night, his favorite songs playing.
Yeah.
Everything seems normal, celebratory even.
But Bear has this unusual pre-game habit, chatting with fans behind home plate.
Yeah, and the text mentions the range of people he sees there. Fans, umpires, mascots, even nuns once. It's quite a scene.
It really adds this unpredictable element to his routine, doesn't it? Why do you think he kept doing it?
Well, the source suggests it started almost randomly, thinking he saw someone he knew, but it grew into something more like a reminder of the fun side of baseball, maybe. A little bit of chaos in his very structured life.
That makes sense. It grounds him, connects him to the fans, even if the media maybe saw it differently, perhaps a bit cynically.
Right. But this night, the unexpected visitor isn't just another fan. Bear spots Danny Tortuga.
Just like that, the Danny Tortuga. The thief famous for stealing, well, everything. Cars, statues, paintings. Wasn't there something about a kingdom?
Yeah, apparently he gave it back, but still.
Yeah.
The reputation is huge, never caught. So Bear's first thought is, naturally, this has got to be a prank by Robbie, his second baseman.
But then there's that great little detail. Robbie is a terrible liar.
Exactly. So Bear knows, okay, this isn't a joke. This is really happening.
Wow. So these two legends from totally different worlds are suddenly face to face. What's that first exchange like?
It's almost weirdly normal, which makes it stranger. Bear just says Danny Tortuga.
And Danny's just like, yep, came to watch you pitch.
But then the reason he gives,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. He says he wants to be seen on TV as an alibi.
An alibi for what?
For a job. He's planning stealing something from the Met Gala.
Get out of here. Using a national baseball broadcast as cover for a heist at the Met Gala?
Yeah.
That's bold.
It is. And the crazy coincidence, Bear is also going to the Met Gala that night. They're unveiling his rookie jersey there.
No way. That's just too perfect. Is it really just chance?
Makes you wonder, right? And Bear, even though he's Mr. Rule Follower, he can't help asking Danny, are you going for the art or the jewels?
And Danny's response.
He just throws it back at him like, why? Are you in the market? Just playing with him.
It's this weird mix of intrigue and maybe a strange kind of mutual recognition, even if they're on opposite sides of the law.
Totally. Bear kind of fumbles the end of the conversation, and then Danny drops this cryptic line about Bear making his job easier.
Ooh, that just hangs there, doesn't it? What does that even mean?
We don't know yet. And Bear's left spinning, right? Should they report him? Could it get violent? But when he looks back...
And he's gone. Vanished.
Just like that. Leaving Bear totally unsettled right before the game.
Which makes that final ritual, looking for his wife Anna in the stands, feel even more important. Finding that anchor.
Yeah, finding that bit of certainty before stepping onto the mound with all this noise in his head.
So the game starts, and immediately we see the impact. The text contrasts his usual focus, mentioning that incredible no-hitter he pitched right after his father died.
Which just shows how locked in he normally is.
Exactly. But now, his mind is just somewhere else, thinking about Danny, the Met Gala, the heist.
It's like this foreign element has completely invaded his mental space. He's not there.
And we see the physical effect, right? That near miss with the line drive.
Oh, yeah. A real wake-up call that his lack of focus could be dangerous. and everyone notices he's off his game.
Even his own thoughts betray him thinking about breakfast burritos during a major league game.
Huh. Yeah, that's a pretty clear sign he's distracted. It makes him human, though, doesn't it? Even legends get sidetracked.
Definitely. So we get to the 7th inning stretch, and he's still kind of lost, restless, feeling like he needs to do something after the game.
But then while his team is batting, something clicks. He starts to pull himself back.
Yeah, the text describes this gradual return to control, and then he talks to Pete, his catcher.
And Pete immediately knows something's up, which tells you how unusual this is for Bear.
Right. Pete's surprised, and Bear basically says, "Let's wrap this up fast. I gotta go somewhere."
The urgency is palpable. He needs to deal with this Danny situation.
And then he just switches it on. It's incredible.
Totally. 8th and 9th innings, 6 strikeouts, 3 pitches each. Boom, boom, boom. Game over, they win.
It's like he channeled all that weird energy into pure pitching dominance for those 2 innings. An amazing display of focus when he needed it.
But then, just as he said, he's out of there. Skips the celebration, skips the press. He's heading straight for the Met Gala.
Yeah, that final line of the section, "I have to find Danny." It sets up a real confrontation, you feel like.
Definitely. So Bear gets to the Met, a place he kind of knows, but not really well, and he's just zeroed in.
Amidst all the glamour and the exhibits, his only goal is finding Danny.
He searches, goes through different sections, and where does he find him?
In the fashion exhibit, near Bear's own Urquhart jersey display, just standing there smiling at him.
It feels so staged, doesn't it? Like Danny knew he'd come, knew where to wait.
It really does. And then Danny just leads him out, silently, through an emergency exit.
Out into the city night. The description there is great. The lights, the noise, feeling bigger, brighter, like stepping into Danny's world.
And Bear just unloads, right? All the questions spill out. What did you do? What did you steal?
And Danny's answer is just mind-blowing.
Yeah. He says, "I came to steal from you."
Not jewels, not art.
No. Your focus. Your game.
Such a twist.
Yeah.
His goal wasn't a physical heist at all. It was this psychological game with Bear.
He wanted to see if he could disrupt the focus of this legendary pitcher just by being there, by planting that seed of doubt. It's almost like a weird form of intellectual challenge.
So who really won the game? Bear got the win on the scoreboard.
But Danny argues he won the mental battle. He got inside Bear's head.
And Bear kind of has to admit it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You got my attention, he says.
It's a grudging respect, maybe. Acknowledging the impact Danny had.
And Danny clarifies, yeah, the Met Gala was just misdirection. Part of a shell game.
Yeah.
The real target, whatever it was, would be in the news tomorrow.
So it wasn't just about Bear, but getting Bear's attention was the win Danny was looking for in this part of his plan.
Exactly. And then, almost as an afterthought, Danny tells him, "Go find your wife."
That snap back to reality. Bear rushes back inside, frantic, calling for Anna.
In finding her, that reunion, it feels like the real anchor point. The text says her presence comforted him, helped him realize what was truly important.
You feel like that's the moment everything shifts for Bear. The game, the fame, the focus. It all gets reevaluated against this, against Anna.
Which leads straight to the shocker. He retires the next day, just walks away.
Wow. After 20 years at the top of his game, triggered by this bizarre encounter.
And weeks later, at his press conference, he explains it. It's not about baseball anymore. It's about Anna, about their life.
A huge life change. But then he does something even more unexpected.
He actually credits Danny Tortuga, says Danny challenged him, that losing that mental battle was a valuable lesson.
Can you imagine the reporters' faces? And then
Danny shouts out from the back of the room, just total chaos erupts. What an ending.
It's wild. So when we boil it all down, what's the core insight here?
For me, it's about how unexpected encounters can just completely change your trajectory. This wasn't a simple hero versus villain thing.
Not at all. Danny the thief acts as this strange catalyst for Bear's self-discovery and ultimately a major life decision. It forced him to look beyond the baseball diamond.
Yeah, it really shows how profound change can come from the weirdest places, making you question what winning and losing even mean.
Absolutely. It makes you, the listener, think, doesn't it?
It really does. So here's something to ponder. Have you ever had an unexpected interaction, maybe a challenge, that just shifted your focus or priorities in a big way? What was your own Danny Tortuga moment? Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today.